So beautiful. So weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone that's lost in the woods. You'll say a prayer. Proverbs 16:29. Wickedness loves company and leads others into sin. Thank you, Father. You wrote the greatest tracker book ever written. We thank you for all the ways that you show us the snares out there, the traps out there, and how to avoid them. That you took the time to do that for us is amazing, and we love you for it, Lord. Let those with eyes to see and ears to hear understand, listen, see what's going on. And we thank you, Lord, for your protection over this channel, for your peace over this channel. and for all the ways that you allow us to be part of your plan. In Jesus' name, amen. I am Lead Tracker E, and this is Jerry Williams, also known as Lead Horse Choctaw. We have 4 Facebook groups: the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers and Surrounding Areas, the Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman and Son Center and Database, the Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warrior's Path, and the Lead Tracker E page. We also have the Lead Tracker E channel, which is the sister channel to this one. And we have extra things that are in there that really go with this channel. So if you haven't already subscribed to that one, please do so.
I just made a note because I've been meaning to change that.
Change what?
Because this update, the subscribers and everything, I need to change that. I just keep forgetting. Too many things to do, seems.
We have our book, The Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warrior's Path. And also, most recently, the Bigfoot Gifters book. And then we also have 2 more that are in the works right now. And these books are also available in Spanish.
That is the... also, let me make another note. The Spanish version. Let me actually say that real fast.
The Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warrior's Path is available on Amazon. And now the Spanish version of it also. Thank you to CT and Jose and Tanya Marquez for interpreting and translating the book for us. And they've also done so with our most recent book, the Bigfoot Gifters. I think he's going to put a picture up.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
And Tanya whipped that translation out very quickly. We're very appreciative of that. And that way our Spanish-speaking friends can also be safe with the information in these books. I'm going to go grab something that fell off the table. You think that heater's too loud?
No, it should be okay, and it will get chilly in here if we don't use it.
Okay. Y'all give us just a second.
Yeah. So let's kind of backtrack just a second. That the book Predator Bigfoot and Spiritual Warrior's Path is on Amazon, and you can also order that through us, $25 plus $5 shipping and handling. Same price as you'll get it on Amazon, except it won't be autographed. But if you order through us, in the description below. I drank some coffee real fast. That we can autograph that for you and get that out to you. Our Bigfoot documentary, it's $55 by itself alone. It does have Bigfoots in there. It does have photos of Bigfoots and places where you would find these creatures, these predators. And we went into some places that we don't recommend people going unless you are prepared and know what you're doing. It was not the best place to go into, some of the places, but we do show you around your towns and cities, homes, and places where to look and where you will find signs. And then we'll also talk about in the book how to deter, how to protect yourself and your family, and the spiritual awareness of it. But the DVDs, Bigfoot documentary 55 by itself. The book is 25 plus $5 shipping and handling, or we're having a sale right now. Both a Bigfoot documentary DVD and one autographed book, either the English version, and I just had some books here, or the Spanish version. Or the Spanish version. I also need to give you 1 sec, make a note. I'll put the Spanish version up there also as well. And if you'll give me 1 second, I can do that real fast. Let's check this out just to make sure. And this is also the new Spanish version, Pa Grande, El Depredador y El Sendero del Guerrera y Espiritual. See if this one looks better. No, it one looks worse. And our new Spanish book, our new book, Bigfoot Gifters, also on Kindle right now. It's also on Kindle. But also, as Lee Tracker was saying, we do have the new Spanish version out, and that was translated by Tanya Marquez with of Jose Antonio with Las Adventures or Oklahoma Adventures. This is the new Spanish version, Las Ofrendas de Pai Grande. You can also find that on Amazon right now, and I think we're going to have a small book signing, at least one for a good friend that his book has came in, and that is Carlos. We wanted to make sure that we had Jose and Tanya's and CT's and Linda's information on the back, their reviews, before we sent it out. That's why it's taking a little bit longer, but we finally got that book in. We will be autographing that and sending it to you as soon as possible. And if you can wait just a little bit longer, we should also have the new Spanish version of Bigfoot Gifters, which is Las Ofrendas de Pai Grande in. If you can wait just a little bit longer, we'll actually send you both because we want you to have all the information up to this point before our new books come out. Where are we at now?
Now we're at our website, PredatorBigFoot.com.
The new website, which is one of our trackers helped us with and
has been a beautiful job.
It has been doing some upkeep, and the new Spanish version should be on that also, and up to date, where you can also find a large playlist of spiritual house cleansing, what the Indians say. A lot of people say, well, the Indians say this, say that, but we can't find those Indians who say that. So the Indians say, no, we don't say that, but you will find a 3-part series or 3-part videos of what the Indians really say, and there's a vote at the end, so it'd be very interesting for you to watch that, especially if we have one person doing some kind of report in college on the subject, and so we gave them that information and haven't heard back from them, so maybe it was not what they wanted to put down as far as what they thought the Indians were saying. So you can go to the website, the website, PredatorBigFoot.com, and it will take you there. You can order the books, DVD, and the new Spanish versions of the Predator Bigfoot Spiritual Warrior's Path, or the new book, Bigfoot Gifters. It's also in Spanish because we want everyone to have that information.
We also have our DVD. Did we talk about the DVD yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With the sale that's going on.
Okay.
And with that sale, it's $55 for the Bigfoot documentary and one autographed book, either the Spanish or the English version. So you're actually getting the book for free, and it's even less than that because we pay for the shipping and handling. So, um,
Ways that you can support the channel. You can become a Patreon member and you will get videos early and extra information. We have Cash App, PayPal. Our post office box is 655 Antlers, Oklahoma, 74523. And then there's super chats. And then one of the easiest ways that you can support the channel is by hitting like, subscribing to the channel, and sharing our videos.
Tracking Miracles and Encounters.
That's a playlist on the Lead Tracker E channel, and it's the ways that we want to take notice of and give glory to God for the ways that His divine intervention and divine orchestration uh, are all around us, and especially in regards to tracking. But it's a play on words. It's also just to keep track of. There's some amazing testimonies on there already, and if you want to give yours, get a hold of us and we'll set up another stream for that.
A lot of it is how God intervened and saved people's lives. And those people who are with us today because of that are very good people, and we're glad that the intervention happened. We've had a lot of interventions happen with us also, things that we didn't foresee in the future were already taken care of before we got to that point. And then we know that God already had it planned out and already took care of things before we even got to that point. One example is one of our friends who's redoing his home gave us a air conditioner, and we got here and it just needed some little quick fixing, and so he fixed it. And I think it was the very next day our air conditioner
shortly
for the
after,
house
yeah.
shorted. So, and it was hot too. But now we have this air conditioner that was just gifted to us, and we put it in, and we didn't have to sweat through the whole summer.
We didn't even know that we were going to need it.
We didn't know.
But God did.
God did. Also, Standing Feather Stories.
Those are the stories of Jerry's journeys across the world and the news behind the news. There's a playlist on this channel, and I'm not sure if it's on the website or not, but also on the Lead Tracker E channel. And you can hear those interviews, and we'll be doing some more. It's just been a matter of time.
Also, trackers, warrior trackers. Tomorrow, and for the future, we're having the meeting until 8:20 p.m. So make sure you're there on time. We want to get all the information first, and then for our open floor, and then we want to close by 8:20. Because now we have the shadow trackers, and also shadow trackers. That was for the protocol meeting, which we sent out a video for you to watch for the protocols, what we're doing. But we're going to go over that also tomorrow for your first tracker meeting, for the first shadow trackers meeting. That's going to be something. We can't wait to see all of you and talk with you and explain what we're doing and how we're doing everything. And we got some things we're going to talk about. Also, Thunder Trackers. You are to report on 1/23/2025. That is Thursday, 1900 hours, which is 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. That's on Thursday, on the 23rd, is our first day for the Thunder Trackers tracking team. Course. Yeah, we got some things we want to talk about with you, and things that we're going to go over, and we're going to get right to it. And so the first day, be ready, pen and paper, sketch papers, because we're not going to waste any days. getting you the information.
If you haven't already gotten the things on the list or watched the video about what you'll need, go back and watch that. That's on this channel.
And for the protractors, compass, paste beads or ranger beads, that's going to be a little later in the course. So if you want to get those a little bit later, maybe a month from now, that's fine. But we do need the paper, the pencils, sketch pads, markers, and things like that.
And the ranger beads, you can look it up very easy online of how to make your own. They don't cost much at all, but you can also make your own and might enjoy doing that.
Yeah. Let's see. This is a this is a tracker channel. It's not a entertainment channel. So monitors, tonight we're giving a lesson. So watch the chat. Make sure there's not conversations, distraction chat. Yeah. Going on. We want to talk to everyone about a few things that we see going on in many places. Lee Tracker sees it more than I do. I'm not really on the internet or a TV that much, but she's seen some things that's caught her attention. How people are falling into their own traps, and they don't see that the traps are designed for them. But we're going to be sharing that information here tonight, so that hopefully, if they do see this, or if you know anybody in these situations, you can share the video with them, just to let them know that these traps are real. They're set for you, and it's to get energy, or it's to get you yourself, or to try to attain the soul.
And just in general, they apply to everyone. We're in a spiritual battle, always, whether we like it or not. We are in a battle between evil and good.
Yeah.
And that's why the Bible was written for us, to show us how to maneuver through that. It's why we wrote our book, to show different ways to avoid traps, what the breaks in our thresholds are. And
yeah,
sometimes it rears up more than other times, but every one of us has current traps being laid for us, or have been through the situation, or they'll be coming around shortly, because it's just the way the enemy works.
And everything is fair in the spiritual warfare. So, and they're going to use anything and everything, throw it at you every day. So don't think it's one and done.
Don't make it easy for them.
Yeah, definitely don't make it easy for them. All right, so we're going to take care of the comments and see who's all here and say hello, and then we're going to get to the lesson tonight. Monitors, be on your toes, and
you're probably going to want a pen, and because some of the things you want to take notes.
Yeah.
Most of you will want to take notes.
Okay, let me get to
a pen to write down Bible verses that you can look up later.
Okay.
Lorna is here.
Tracker Lorna, she's the first one.
Cubinator.
Cubinator's an hour behind her. Uh-oh. And he said, yeah, you beat me again. She said, hi, Cube.
Joyce is here. Blessings to you too, Joyce.
Oh, there's Joyce. All right. Good to see you, Joyce. Glad you're here.
Tracker Lorna, thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
We appreciate you so much.
We sure do. Thank you, Tracker Lorna. Wow.
Cube, thank you for dropping a link to the newest book, Bigfoot Gifters. And it's getting really good reviews, getting 5-star reviews.
5-star reviews. Lots of good people are commenting on it. And they're understanding that there's more to gifting than just what people have been told.
It goes much deeper than surface level.
Yeah.
Cube, thank you very much.
There he is. Thank you.
We sure appreciate you.
Wow. And there's Joyce. She's thanking both, one for Tracker Lorna and Cubinator. And here's also Cubinator's Facebook group page, Tracking Bush Predators Australia. It's a Facebook group where a lot of information is shared, and things that are going on in Australia that a lot of people just don't believe is there, but he's showing exactly what is there, what to look for, and where not to go, really.
JR is here.
JR. What's JR doing?
He's cold.
Oh, JR's cold.
Joyce says blessings to JR, and yeah, everybody's cold tonight, I think, except maybe Q.
Yeah. Except for Cube. Yeah, he's probably hot. Yeah, 90 degrees.
Oh, but JR says he's not complaining.
Mm. Judy Wheeler is here.
Where's Judy? Hey, Judy.
She says, good evening, y'all. I woke up this morning and it was 9 degrees. Unbelievable.
Bob is here.
I hope you got the information, Judy. We sent it to your email and to your Facebook Messenger, I believe. And everybody's saying hello to Judy, and Judy saying hello to Joyce and Lorna and Cube. And there's Bob. Bob, I hope he was here. The first Shadow Tracker meeting is tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time Zone. We got a lot to go over, and we can't wait to see all of y'all.
Judy says that she has the replay.
All right. Good job, Judy. Bob saying hello to everybody.
Tracker Lorna is reminding everyone to please hit the like button. Yes, please and thank you. Jamie Alanis is here. Hello, sir.
Oh, Jamie Alanis.
He says, hello, Jerry and Tracker E. Watched one of your other videos today. Good.
Oh, good, good.
Joyce says she's ordering the Bigfoot gifters tomorrow. That's great,
Oh,
Joyce.
good,
Thank you.
good.
Can't wait for your review.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Let's see. More greetings. Everyone's greeting each other. There's Jody.
Where's Jody? Am I too far?
Just a little bit further down.
Oh. Let me get these first.
Where Joyce said about the book, ordering the book tomorrow, and Jody's just a few down from there.
Well, I see.
Am I missing some again?
There it is. Oh, it's one ahead.
See,
there she is. There she is.
It's doing it again.
She
with
says, good evening,
top
everyone.
messages.
Joyce, Bob, Lorna, Cube, Jamie, JR. Hello, how you doing, Jody? And first tracker meeting is tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. We'll see you there. Tracker Lorna says Bigfoot gifters, awesome read, packed full of information. Couldn't put it down. Read it in one sitting. Recommend for everyone to read. It's a beautiful book.
Thank you, Tracker Lorna.
Wow.
We can't wait to get it in our hot little hands.
Yeah, we ordered.
It should be here anytime.
And we're waiting on it too. We want to also show that book, and also the Spanish book. We want that one too, so we can share it with some Spanish speaking friends so that they have the information as well.
We want to keep everyone safe. Jamie says, Cube, I'm still amazed at Jerry's knowledge. Nothing like it.
Oh, thank you, Jamie. But if you're a tracker, we all have the same knowledge. We share all the information, and if you ever get in one of the courses, you'll understand the depth and what we share. And all the trackers have the same knowledge now, but it's something once you get in the course.
Cube says, me too, Jamie, every day, and his willingness to share with us all.
You know, we were, and I talked to Jody today, but we had that conversation where, and Lee Tracker E and myself had the conversation the day before, where at one point with some of the things that we're going to be covering in the tracker course, I was, I don't know. I guess I was kind of, the head was like that because I would give people information, like the healing information that we're going to be covering also on the first day. But, I would give people the information. It's a lot of work, but now it's easier because we've done it so much. But those people got healed and they had no problems anymore. And the doctor said, just come as a yearly checkup because you're fine. Everything levels are good. Everything's good. But they would thank God. And I wouldn't get any kind of credit or anything for giving them all that information and what to eat and, minerals and everything that we're going to be covering for each tracker. and each tracker has that information. But it was a while before I realized that God was the one that led me to all that information and simplified it and was using me to help other people. And then I realized that other people who help us through support and information, that's also God using them to help us so that we can help others. So it's none of us. It's God using us to help other people in certain situations and at the right time. It's always the right time. It's
That's a verse, to God be the glory.
to God be the glory. Um, so we have a whole new perspective of this information belongs to everybody, and we're trying to get it to everybody, especially in our tracker courses, because those are the people who've decided that I want this information. I want to know what they know. I want to know what the rest of the people know.
You want to be able to help other people.
And once you have this information, just like all the other trackers, you can understand because they're going out, they're helping everybody. They're helping neighbors, they're helping family and friends. They're giving them the right information.
And even if it's online, helping and sharing the correct information, that's still helping people.
Yeah, just like Cubinator, he's out there. Some of our trackers, they're buying these books and they're taking them to the libraries or leaving them where people can read them to help their communities and things like that. They're doing the tracking. It's just beautiful to watch that expand and grow.
Tracker Lorna gives us 5 stars for Bigfoot gifters.
5 stars. Thank you so much. And it is a good book. It's got information in there that none of those gifters if you watch those gifters on YouTube, you know that they don't have this book or they don't have the knowledge that is in that book. It's not a large book, but it's to the point and it's just packed full of information. And it's an excerpt from the other book that we're writing. Actually, we got 2 more that Lead Tracker is working on, the children's book. And then we're also working together on Vessels of Hope versus Agents of Darkness. And that little part of Bigfoot Gifters came out of that book because we've seen too many people trying to give advice or they're giving the wrong information. So we put that book out quickly so that people could have the right information and it would go against what these other people are saying. If they read this book, they'll understand what they're doing. It's not a good thing.
Sometimes people won't listen to a no if they don't understand why they're being told no. Jamie says, Cube, his knowledge can save people's lives. The woods are not empty, they're full of monsters.
They sure are.
Cube says, yes, Jamie, we are blessed. Cube says, agreed, Jerry, God's intervention has saved me more than once and gave me insight into what was happening so I could avoid some issues. And let me know if I miss any because it's still stuck in top messages.
Okay.
Jamie says, Cube, people have been disappearing for years. David Paulides, 5 books full of people gone.
Yeah.
Cube says, so that'll be 8 to 8:30ish in the morning, Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Completely doable.
Hey, all right. It's the regular time, but we end at 8:30. We end at 8:20. The shadow trackers begin at 8:30. So the Warriors, you're still on the same time, but we're going 20 so we can get ready for the shadow tracker meeting. And we're going to keep that like that for a while.
Jody says it's a very entertaining tracker channel. Not for entertainment, but it is entertaining.
Yeah.
Deborah Mueller's back. Hey, Deborah.
Hey, Deborah. All right. Tracker Lorna was saying hi to Jody. And Deborah saying, good evening, Lee Tracker E, Jerry, and all my friends. Good to see you, Deborah.
Judy says she got the information. Thank you so much.
Okay. Oh, there we are. Okay.
And Jody says, to God be the glory, beautiful truth.
Jamie says, do I have to go to Oklahoma?
To be a tracker?
No, it's a 4-month course online. And the things that we need you to do, there's certain things that we need you to do that you will do either at your home, or you may go for a short drive. But some of that homework is we need you to look for certain things, and we're going to show you exactly where to find it. But we need you to go out and take the photos so that you know exactly what you're looking at.
We've been across the country, and we've not gone anywhere that we didn't find these same patterns.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Cube's letting him know that no, he's in Australia, and it's the same patterns over there. And the people we talk to across the world,
same patterns.
Carlos in Argentina,
Canada, everywhere. And Jody says, "To God be the glory, beautiful truth." Yeah, we share it. And this is also okay. This is where Jay was saying, to be a tracker, do I have to go to Oklahoma? No. We it's all online, but we do have a yearly tracker meeting, and you don't have to come to that meeting, but it's very good if you can make it, because we get to see each other, break bread, as they say, together, and we do some extra training here on certain things, more team training once you're here. And we got some special things that we're going to be doing this year, like grid work and things like that. So and we'll go over everything before we do it. It's kind of like this year is kind of be like a scavenger hunt, except we're doing grid work with it. And you're going to have to find the ribbons and things like that, the markers. And the same thing you would do in the military, except we're going to be doing it as trackers. And you'll understand if you ever get in the course.
Tracker Lorna says she also left a 5-star review, but it hasn't shown up yet. I just checked.
Oh, good. Wow.
But thank you for that. Left a comment and a 5-star review. Thank you. Elastic Machinery is here.
Elastic Machinery.
And he shared the link. Thank you for that. We appreciate when you'll share the link.
All
and we notice we've been getting a few new names in here, Elastic Machinery, and we believe that's because you've been sharing the links every time. Thank you very much. And he says he'll be listening quietly. Oh, Deborah Mueller wants to know, how often do we start new classes? January through April is her busiest time at work. Do we do fall classes? Fall may be the next time we get.
Fall may be the next time.
Do one.
Because, and this is the reason, because, and we're going to also be starting a small fund, monthly fund, if anyone can help with. But this year in April, I'm going to be running for council for the Choctaw Nation in my district. Everything looks good for that, but I will be needing help with resources, getting signs and things like that. Travel to go and talk to some of the voters, which we've been doing that already and talking to a lot of people. But there's a $500 fee for registering, and then to put up signs and things like that, and gas. So we're going to start a fund for that. And that's the reason, because right at the end of this tracker course is half a month, and then I got to register to run for council, and that's going to take up until June, I think, or July is whenever the final count is going to happen. And so that's going to take up all of our time, because we need to get in there so that we can help a large majority of people, and we can that's the goal right now. So after that, then it's going to be kind of how, once we get in the council, then we have to schedule, because we still need more trackers. So that's why we were telling people we're not sure when the next one is after this course, but and that's the reason, because I'll be running for council.
But hopefully by fall. And then the eventual goal is he will run for chief of the Choctaw Nation after getting on the council.
Yeah, and after I show and prove to everyone what I can do, and how we can do things better and expand and help more people. And we're not just talking about the Choctaw Nation. We're talking about as many people as we can expand and give the knowledge to. That's the goal. So I'll be running for council and register in April. And that's why we're not sure when the next course is going to be after that. So it may be in the fall. So
But
hang in there. And
probably
stay with
won't
us.
have a summer course.
Yeah, we probably won't have a summer course.
And Jamie says at least once he should be able to make it here.
Elastic Machinery says he'll be listening quietly, and everybody's saying hello to Elastic Machinery. And he said, at least once going to see you in Tracker E that I can manage. Oh, okay. Wow, that would be good. If you'll take over, I need to check on something real fast.
Okay.
I'll be right back here. Check on something real fast. So,
Okay, I'm going to read to you for just a second. Let me find it. So tonight we're going to talk about traps. We're going to talk a lot of things you'll notice here overlap in the spiritual world between the predator Bigfoots and all the hybrids, the physical beings, but also it overlaps with the spiritual beings. If someone's telling you that the Bigfoots are only physical, they only know half the story. If they're telling you they're only spiritual, they only know half the story. They're both physical and spiritual, just like we are both physical and spiritual. We have to learn to battle on all fronts, the physical and the spiritual. And so a lot of the things, it may seem like we're skipping around tonight, but these things overlap, the things that we're talking about. But the patterns also overlap. If you did a diagram, you'd see that everything crosses over. And even some, we're going to talk about the different, the 7 deadly sins, and talk about the different vices that we have. Those are traps, and those are ways that we set traps for ourselves. The enemy is watching us, constantly watching us, just like the Bigfoot constantly watch. They're observing everything, and they're looking for openings in the threshold. That's something we talk about in the Predator Bigfoot book, and we'll go even deeper into in the agents of vessels of hope versus agents of darkness. But maybe you want to start with reading the 7 deadly sins.
yeah, let's catch up to where we're at. This is where Jamie said that he's going to meet with us at least one time. And Elastic Machinery says that he has to share you. We have to share you. And we also have to share also. And Jody says, count me in for support. I will help with your registration fee. Oh, wow.
Thank you so much, Jody.
Thank you, Jody. And Judy is sharing. And I like that. Sharing is caring.
Yeah, truly.
And thank you all again.
These are things that the Lord hates. He's very specific. He a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that are swift in running to evil, a false witness who speaks lies, and one who sows discord among brethren. So those are actions that he can't stand. He finds them just disgusting. He hates them. And these are 7 vices or 7 deadly sins. Wrath. I'll list them and then we'll talk about each one. Wrath, greed, sloth, pride, lust, envy, and gluttony. And then in the Bible, we also learn about the 7 virtues. And these are the antidotes to those sins. For wrath, got a lot of notes. And these sins are also, they're traps. That's how they get us. Wrath is, there is a God's wrath, which is it's a justifiable wrath. Um, he doesn't get mad without a good reason. But we can use wrath that's not justified. It's an anger that can lead to other sins, like murder, which is the shedding of innocent blood. A lot of times you'll see the interpretation will say, "Thou shalt not kill." Actually, the Bible that's that's not correct. It's "Thou shalt not commit murder." Is "Thou shalt not shed innocent blood." There are times where you, in self-defense, you may have to, but that's not innocent blood. When we the antidote to that, though, to wrath, is patience, and Jesus was a prime example of patience. But there are also times when he had a righteous anger and a righteous indignation, when he was flipping tables in the temple. That was different. Or when he was walking around just observing everybody in the temple, money changing and farm animals in there, in the, what you shared the other day about them purchasing the animals for sacrifices to.
Yeah, I can't think of what. I know I read it though, where for a sin that you would have to take to the priest, it is either it was some kind of animal, or maybe an oxen or something, or a
All
bird.
different things. Yeah.
But people would be there selling these things because they knew that people needed this to for their sin. So they would purchase. They would. I mean, it'd be right there. So these people were using the synagogue or the churches for profit, for money, and they would be overcharging people because they knew that they needed this instead of going and trying to purchase one downtown or find someone to bring one with them. That there was people there using the church as a place of profit, a place of business.
Mm-hmm. In disrespecting his house.
Yeah.
And so just picture Jesus walking along, he's braiding a whip, braiding a scourge to drive out the livestock and the people, but he's wandering around just braiding, looking at what they're doing. He wasn't wrathful. He wasn't flipping out, losing control, seeing red. Where he, everything he did was very specific and very much in control. He flipped the tables, but it doesn't say that he was slamming them against the wall and hurling people everywhere and things like that. It was very specific. He's tipping over the money off the tables. He's tipping over, running the things out like that. That's a different kind of wrath. But we set our own traps when we flip out, when we lose self-control. God made us emotional. God is emotional, but we have to have temperance. We have to have self-control. There's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah, and wrath comes with a lot of no self-control, no self-control over oneself. And what we call self-control is what we call man's law, because you have the righteous, and then you have God's law. But if you have self-control, you can move into the righteous, and then to the righteous then you can move and be under God's law. Because without self-control, you can say you're under God's law, but then you go and commit this sin and do that. Then you ask for repentance, and then you do it again. Then you do it again. That's not self-control. And man's law is having self-control over oneself, so that you don't have that anger, so that you don't have that big mouth and yell at people and threaten someone. That's what a child will do. A child will throw a tantrum. A child will scream and yell and throw things. And that's a form of that wrath, losing control. And then you do, and you act, because a child will act on that. Someone who's got self-control, this is just an example. I mean, it's not a great example, but it kind of is. I was this one guy was wanting me to get him a cell phone one time, which I didn't know what he was going to do with it. But next time he seen me, he said, "Do you have that cell phone?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm not getting you a cell phone." And it wasn't someone who needed money. I think he was going to use it for something. I don't know what kind of deal it was back in those days, but and he got right in my face and just started yelling and cussing. And there's other people who were standing right there, and so I was just looking at him, and while he was yelling and screaming and everything until he finally calmed down, and I said, "Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go." And as soon as I left, those other people came with me and come, follow me. And they said, "I've never seen that before in my life, how someone could just yell and scream at someone without anyone reacting." And they said, "I've never seen that before." And I said, well, for one reason, I know what I can do. And I don't want to hurt anybody just for like a phone. I don't want to hurt anybody for that. And that guy didn't deserve to be hurt, but I understand his anger, but I'm still not going to get him what he wants. He didn't need it, but he wanted it to try to profit or do something else with it. But that was having self-control, and some people just has never seen that before. They expected a reaction. They expected us to get into a fight or something, but I didn't give in to that anger, to his wrath. I just listened to him and then said, "Well, I guess I'm going to go," and walked out. So,
And we can be conduits and try when you poke at someone, when you know somebody's got a button and you're pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, trying to make them angry.
mm-hmm.
That's wicked. That's
Yeah.
God doesn't like that. He even tells us don't do that to our children. Don't stir your children up to wrath. He says that a soft answer will turn away wrath, and that doesn't mean a weak answer. It's a soft, self-controlled answer. You're destroying your children when you or relationships when you try to do that and make people mad, and it's a twisted sense of humor. That's what they'll call it. Oh, what, ain't you got no sense of humor? Or it's a
Can't you take a joke?
yeah, that's twisted. Trolling is a way of trying to do that. Just trying to get people mad, trying to get them angry, or poking and poking and poking. We're not supposed to be trying to cause another to sin. Um,
Yeah.
it's wrong.
And we see that on the internet too.
It,
Some of the other Bigfoot
all the
channels
time.
or some of these channels.
And not only are you trying to get them into traps and you're being used by the enemy to get them into traps, sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly. But if you're doing it over and over and over again, you know what you're doing. Be
Yeah.
honest with yourself
Yeah.
and repent for it, and then don't do it again. You can't poke at somebody and then say, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that," and then tomorrow you're doing it again. It's
And
foolishness.
even worse is to lie about it. Say, "No, I didn't."
I didn't
No,
really mean to.
or "No, I didn't do
Yeah.
that." Which everyone is watching, going, "Yeah, you did."
Yeah, and we also don't want to label our children in the beginning. People tend to do this. They'll say, "Well, that's the silly one. That's the that one's got an anger problem. That one's got an anger problem." So that kid's internalizing that and hearing, and then pretty soon well, I got an anger problem. I have to do this. It's a form of witchcraft, really, and of cursing that child and causing them to see themselves as justifying their their anger that's not justifiable in that case. And you can cause your own child to eventually down the road be in prison for losing their temper. Road rage is a form of wrath that's just absolute foolishness. Let them go ahead of you. Does it really matter? Like,
Mm-hmm.
seriously, does it really matter? But people get in wrecks. They'll get out on the side of the road, be throwing down with each other, pulling guns on each other. Foolishness. You don't want to hurt your partner. You don't want to hurt your friends. You don't want to throw fits at work. And it's a way of trying to intimidate people, swiping off the desk and throwing things everywhere. Or, well, I didn't hit them, I just hit the wall, and that kind of thing. It's abuse, and it's a trap. It's a trap that can get you put in jail, get other people put in jail, destroy relationships with children and mates and friends and employers, cause you to have guilt and shame, and then also cause you to lie to God. I'm sorry, Lord, I won't do it again. But then tomorrow, there you go, you're doing it again. So that's a huge trap.
Also, talking about future events of what you're gonna do to somebody, or what you can do to somebody.
Yeah.
Threatening. That's a form of wrath that is uncontrolled. You don't have self control if you're threatening someone, especially on the internet, or um, like road rage and things like that. That's a lack of self control. Anyone who's got road rage has a lack of self control. A lot of these things that are designed, these traps that are designed for us spiritually, is through the lack of self control. Um, Spiritual warfare is fair game. It can use anything it wants to use against us. And all these vices are traps. They want us to have wrath. They want us to have the sloth, greed, and we're going to be talking about those too.
And they cross over each other too. Like if you hear about liquid courage, some people get mouthy only when they drink. Quit drinking. Quit going in situations where you know it's going to make you mad. Quit hanging around with people that you know make you mad. Just use common sense to avoid those situations. And truly, the older you get, the more you should be learning that there's so little worth actually being mad about. Always try to put yourself in another person's position, or just avoid that person altogether. Sometimes they're just jerks, and they're conduits of the enemy that are just easy Ephesians 6 prey to be used against you. Don't make it easy for them.
And that's you using yourself to set a trap for yourself, because you're saying, I'm going to do this. You're threatening somebody. And when someone hears you threaten them, the majority of the people are going to pick the phone up, and if they've recorded it, they're going to call the police and say, this person just threatened my life.
That's what they wanted.
Yeah, and here's the recording. Listen to it. The police are going to listen to it. They're going to say, okay, well, we'll go have a talk.
We got to do something about this.
Because, and you can be considered a domestic terrorist, especially if you're doing it on the internet. So that is a trap that they've coaxed you into. That you allowed. And so you jumped into that trap by yourself, by having no self-control, and letting that wrath, letting that anger, that poking affect you.
Get to you.
And you're just like us. We're on the internet here. There's nobody in front of us. There's nobody physically poking their finger at us. Those are just words on the internet, and there's no face there. And yet it can, if you have no self-control, you can read that and get all mad and get all upset, and
bad for your blood pressure, bad for your heart. It causes dis-ease in your body.
Yeah, that's your own self. That's yourself setting a trap for yourself.
And with each one of those temptations, with each one of those sins, demons run with that, and they run with each other, and so these different sins will overlap. Pride runs with wrath. I'm so proud. They said something that hurts my pride, so now I gotta do this. I gotta represent. I gotta stand up for it. There's so many things that we can walk away from because truly, what is the phrase? I don't argue with somebody whose opinions I have no respect for. Why would you let somebody get you amped up like that? Politically, we see people doing it all the time. Look at all these videos of Karens. They're known as Karens, and anybody out there named Karen, I feel sorry for you because your name got a bad rap. But it's somebody who has no control over their temper. And now so many people are on pharmaceuticals too that got their moods everywhere. And there's people that society encourages bad behavior, encourages people to be violent. The things that we watch, our eye gates, our ear gates, they can encourage us. It's just that steady diet of anger and rage. And I remember there used to be a counselor thing that people were doing for a while. It was called rage therapy. And so the deal is they're just supposed to scream and smash things and throw things and to get over something. Why would you feed that? Why would you feed into that? That's, put it into going for a walk or exercising. Huh? Okay. There's a lot of things you can do to get rid of the rage. Usually with rage comes feeling disrespected. There's always some kind of underlying emotion there. So rage and anger usually masks fear, and fear is one of the main underlying emotions on everything. Fear of being disrespected, fear of not being honored, fear of being embarrassed, fear of just you name it, fill in the fear. That leads to rage. Fear of not being in control, that's a huge one. It's just don't put yourself into that trap. And then you end up with rage against yourself. And it may even be justified. It may be absolutely justified, righteous anger, but consider, is it worth it? The emotions are not wrong, but how we respond to and display the emotions and what we do with those emotions, that's what leads to sin.
I was just thinking, you also got to be careful with demons. They possess people. They use people as conduits. And if they can get 2 for 1, if this one can make this one mad, hey, they got 2 for 1.
Mm-hmm.
That one, if that one doesn't react, and so they're still working with this one, and this one's going to go after another one. This one's going to find someone to get a reaction from.
Mm-hmm.
But demons they have that appetite. They don't want just one. They want as many, all. If they can get all, they're going to go for it. Mm-hmm. So be careful of those people, because you're not the only target.
And don't let third party manipulators cause you to rage against someone else and destroy your friendships because they told you, well, did so and so said something, or the little instigators. Mm-hmm. They'll try to get you worked up, especially if they see that's one of your triggers, what we call triggers. Triggers are weaknesses. And so if they see that that's one of your weaknesses, there's going to be some little troll, some little vulture, some little demonized individual whose feet are quick to run to trouble, or to spread false witness, or even take any little ammunition that you give them and steer it. They're working for the enemy. They're paying attention. The demons are paying attention, and the demonized individuals around you, the weaker individuals around you, are also paying attention, and they're going to use that to get you to put yourself into a trap. Even we've seen it before and this goes with pride too. We were talking about that earlier, when someone, say it's a supernatural event happening in the house, demons bothering one weaker family member. Well, I guess not necessarily weaker, because we've seen where somebody will say, leave them, I'm not saying this, leave them alone. If you want to get them, get me. And Jerry was saying that also has to do with pride. It's pride and anger, because now you flipped out, you lost control, you challenged this thing you should have been rebuking and casting out. Now you've challenged it and made matters worse, but also because you've got pride. Well, I can handle this, but they can't. That's dumb. Just don't do it. So that's quite a bit on it.
That was wrath.
Mm-hmm. Greed. We talk about greed. Greed is the excessive pursuit of material things, or a selfish desire for more than what is needed. Jesus said, give us this day our daily bread. Give us just what we need. If you got two coats, give one away. Or if they ask for your coat, give them your cloak also. we can only do with so much. We're not taking it with us. Greed can lead to just a million other problems that overlap. It can cause you to be a workaholic. So now you're never home. Your relationships with your spouse and your children and your friends suffer because you've got to make that bag, and always working, and it can cause lack of rest. And then each one of these problems feeds on another for your family members. You come home and you're always grumpy or crabby, or they're isolated and feeling alone. So now they've got their own set of problems that's being fed on, their own weaknesses. And so we have to watch the greed. It can put you into debt for what? Something that can be just burned up and destroyed in an instant. Um, One of the ways that Satan tried to tempt Jesus after the 40 days in the wilderness was through greed. I can give you everything you want, just bow down and worship me. Nothing comes without a price, and greed is one of the biggest things. And America is a hugely materialistic society. Um, it's all about keeping up with the Joneses, and people will be going hungry but have a fancy car for show over there, or um, they got to have the most expensive whatever has a label on it. Name it. It changes all the time, so they're getting into debt over honestly worthless things. Um, Go ahead.
Also, these these words that we're going over, gluttony, lust, greed, sloth, wrath, those are names of demons. And um, these demons have these certain names. All demons have names
Job duties.
and job duties, job descriptions. And that's how they're named. You're greed. You make this person. You're jealous. You're wrath. So these demons have these names, and you can use. I mean, you can know them by their names. Now greed is here. Now lust is here. Um, but also pride. Uh, all these traps um, can be used as conduits. Also, I mean, people can be um, like a car. You want that nice car, but that nice car may be possessed, or that house may have possession, or that land may have predator Bigfoots. Um, so you spend your money trying to get a car that's possessed, like that movie Christine. Um, it's not the car; it's the possession. It's someone gave that um, conduit or gave that demon a right to be in that car. Just like the Annabelle doll, they gave a right to be in that doll, and it's not that it's in the doll, but it's going to protect that doll. It's going to protect that car.
Use it as a
Yeah.
connection.
Get people to look at it and like, hey, that's a nice car. I'd like to have that car, and that's also a form of greed and um,
Pride.
pride, gifts, cars, houses, people. Um, and especially with like a predator Bigfoot, getting a good deal on the house and land. That's a red flag for a lot of people, but it's not for a lot of people also. And then they get into debt. So that greed of trying to, and I know a lot of people want the house and the land and everything, and we talk about that in the Predator Bigfoot book, Bigfoot Gifters. If you've read that, we do talk about that how you will get in debt by getting that good deal, because you're not just purchasing the house and the closing cost. You're also got to pay for the land taxes or the taxes. You got to buy food for that new house. You got to get your electricity turned on, your gas or propane.
Yeah, higher light bills.
Higher light bills. Now, if you got children, you've got to get um, you're moving, so your cost of moving also, and then you're going to have to get or change your phone over. There's a lot of things that come with moving that's going to put you in debt right off the bat. And whenever you find out that, or when these people find out that the Bigfoots are on that territory, most of them don't have the funds to just pick up and move again because they just spent all that money on that. So they have to deal with that. And that's also in the Prayer to Bigfoot, Bigfoot Gifters, the new book. But that greed of wanting that big, nice new house for this low price, wanting that nice new shiny car, greed is there.
Or they had the greed and got the big fancy stuff, got in over their heads, and now they're fixing to be put out, and so they have to go snap up the first little deal that comes along, and it's a place that's haunted or possessed with demons or infested with the predators, spiritual and physical predators.
And you also got to watch out for if people are buying and they see a good deal, they should always check to see if how long has this house been resold before. And you also got to be wary of people who will sell you the house or put you on a finance system. And someone will say owner financing. You got to watch out for those too, because people have left those houses because of the predator Bigfoots or the spiritual activity that may be associated with that house. So you have to be careful of people who will say, if you decide to sell, sell me, give me the first right to buy the house back, and I'll buy the house back from you. Because these people know that there are predator Bigfoots or hybrids on that territory, on that land, or that there is some spiritual activity going on that has made people move before. So they're profiting, their greed is profiting off people who don't know what they're getting into. So we got to be very careful of.
And it will cause you to take advantage of other people. Greed will do
Greed
that.
will do that, yeah.
Here's some verses. We'll just go over a few of them, but if you look up greed Bible verses, you will find so many. 1 Timothy 6 says, godliness and contentment are better than riches. And when you own too much stuff, your stuff begins to own you. You got to worry about thieves now. You have to worry about, are these friends my friends because they really care about me, or are they my friends because of what I can do for them, or because they want something from me? You have to worry about leaving your place, that it's going to get broken into when you leave. You have to worry about everything, keeping up with it. Maybe you've gotten so big that you can't even handle it on your own. Now you need land maintainers and housekeepers and all that kind of stuff. You have to worry about having the right kind of clothes that go with this fancy mask that you put on for everyone. Contentment is a way to avoid the love of money. That's in Hebrews 13:5. Jesus warns against greed in Luke 12. He warns against greed and says that life is not determined by possessions. It's even churches display greed. We see that a lot with the prosperity gospel. We see it a lot with the whole I'm manifesting this and I'm manifesting that. It's never about manifesting, advancing God's word, or more and more people knowing about the kingdom, or bringing more and more people to Christ. You don't see them manifesting and putting up vision boards about that. It's about power, control, impressing people, and material things. Ecclesiastes 5 tells us that riches can be harmful to the owner. In James, it says, riches will be lost forever and will be used as evidence in a final trial before God. It would be so much better to, here's another example, people that are, what do you call it? They're Well, hoarding is one example of greed in wanting too much stuff, and it totally gets out of control. But another is people who, I can't think of the word right now, but the ones that are preparing, stockpiling, stockpiling,
Mm.
stockpiling, and they have so much food that it spoils because they can't even rotate it or keep up with it. But then there's people in their area and in their town that are going without food, that could have used that food. The thing,
Peppers.
preppers, yeah, it can go overboard. It's whenever something gets to excess, that's when it becomes sinful.
And even the greed can is a form of pride also.
Mhm.
When we're talking about the buying the land and buying the house, and it looks good and everything, and there's lots of uh, you know going above your budget. Um, Pride will step in and say, "We can handle these predator Bigfoots. Um, we can get them away, or we can take care of that." But people don't understand that there's always more than one. It's multiple, big, small, flying, hoof, torn, winged, watered. Um, so people just don't understand that you're dealing with more than one demon. Always, you're dealing with more than one predator Bigfoot or hybrid at one time.
Mhm.
They're always the demons run in packs, predators run in packs. But that pride and the greed to keep everything that you can't afford is a trap, and that will eventually work its way in there to where they can't afford it, um, and they may even have to do something to make money the wrong way to try to keep up with the Joneses, as they say.
Yeah, greed can cause people to steal, embezzle. So again, greed can cause you to go to prison.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the antidote to that, the virtue, the opposite of greed is charity. And that's not a false charity for show, which can be pride, but it's what we're talking about, feeding other people, helping other people with it. I'm going to go to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is sloth, which is
Mm.
laziness. It's a sin that is described as carelessness towards what God's commands and priorities are. God works hard. Nothing's hard for God, but God never stops creating and doing and being productive and taking care of things. He says, remember the Sabbath. He rested on that one day, but God's always, I guarantee you the mind wasn't resting,
Mm-hmm.
but He's always doing and taking care of things. It keeps our body strong, it keeps our minds sharp. God does not like lazy at all. And one of the first things He did was say, okay, here are all these good things. I've given you these good things. Now you take care of them. He didn't say just lay up and get out of shape. He said, take care of them. Name these animals, be a good steward, take care of the land, take care of what I've given you. He does not like slothfulness. And sloth is also when God gives you talents and you don't do anything with them. Every single one of us has talents, and that's usually where our passions or our interests lie. Or sometimes it's an undeveloped talent that you don't even know you have. And if you were too lazy to even explore and do different things, you would never even know that God had given you that talent. You just needed the knowledge or the experience or the training to be able to develop that talent and to use it to do good things in the world. Um, Failure to use our talents is a form of laziness. Slothfulness can cause relationships to suffer. It can cause financial debt. It can cause you just not to be a good steward or take care of the things that you have. You you can't just let your house fall apart around you because you're too lazy to get up and clean it. You get full of vermin and bugs and rats and just filth, and with that comes a whole other set of things like unhealthiness. Um, Sloth is bad for your body. It's can cause problems with your parents if you're young and you're just lazy and you don't take care of the things that they gave you. It's no difference than what we're doing to God, that what adults will do to God. We need to take care of the things that is given. Lazy parents can cause children to just not be taken care of properly. It causes neglect in children, or too lazy to correct, or too lazy to stand their ground because it's easier just to give in. That sort of thing. Laziness can cause you to not have a good relationship because you're not putting in any kind of effort. You're not showing your partner or your friends that you care about them. Laziness can towards yourself can cause you to, that'll also mess up with relationships, or it can get you fired from a job. Um, Bring financial ruin. It can also make you dependent, and this is so, and hopefully this tide is turning, but becoming dependent on the government. It's encouraged to be lazy, to just live up off the government and let them feed you. Well, that's just another trap. It's another form of trap. So now they're giving you your food, which you can't trust. They're um, where maybe if you put in more effort, you could grow healthy food and know that you could trust it, than buying some of these or receiving some of the commodities that what's in them kind of thing. What else? We don't want to be dependent on the government and becoming lazier and lazier. Uh, it feels good to work hard. It feels, but again, you keep it in balance. You don't work so much and so often that now you're off balance in the other direction. Work hard, but not so hard that you're out of control and being a workaholic. But also don't get your rest, but not so much rest that you're nothing but lazy and depressed. Now you don't feel good, and you're unhealthy. Your body doesn't, your heart doesn't ever get pumping, and you now you've got high blood pressure and you're overweight, and the organs start failing and knees start going and all that kind of thing. All that's from laziness too, not taking care of our bodies, which are supposed to be the temples for the Holy Spirit, and not taking care of uh, our surroundings and the things that we're blessed with. Laziness can cause the Bigfoots to come in, the predators to come in, because you're not pushing back your grass, you're not, or not the grass, you're not pushing back the tree lines, you're not um, clearing the junk out of the area, you're letting trash pile up, you're letting debris pile up. These are all traps. Demons love clutter and chaos, and the predator Bigfoots and hybrids love clutter and any place that they can hide in, any bunch of junk. Okay. Okay.
Oh, I was just going to say that some of the same things you were talking about, but sloth, the lazy kind of part is that God gave us all we came here the same way, we're going to leave the same way, but gave us a body to take care of while we're here for duration, for longevity, um, to have keep the upkeep of the body. But also, and that's working out, that's eating, it's not indulging or overindulging. Eat just what you need to eat, but don't just sit there and just keep chomping and chomping. You come to a point where you're full, but some people just keep going, and that's indulging. You're overdoing what your body doesn't even want at that time, but it's still just kind of like something to do. So even just eating until we're full, and even it's okay to have those leftovers. Wrap them up good, and if you get hungry later, just have a quick snack with it. But don't indulge. Don't go overboard. Um, and you'll see that your body will respond to that too. It won't be trying to lay down. It's using that. That's exactly the amount that we need. And let's work with that. So your body will get better if you just do that one simple thing. Also, prayer day and night. Um, I think that's Psalms 1, 2, Psalms verse chapter 1, verse 2, I think. Or maybe it's verse 3. I think it's verse 2. Um, uh, where sloth is actually being lazy on our praise, lazy on our worship, lazy on um, giving thanks to God. A lot of people will, like we pray before we eat, and even getting a snack, even three pieces of chips, we'll still pray for. Um, and sometimes whenever we'll maybe put something in our mouth and we'll stop before we swallow. We're like, oh, okay, now I need to pray, because it's a reaction. People get things all the time on the road and things like that, or in a hurry. But that's also being lazy with our prayers and giving thanks and praise. Um, and like Lee Tracker, he was saying that the sloth, the laziness, will affect our families, because now, like she was saying, we're not cleaning that garbage up outside, which attracts predators. We're not pushing that tree line and knocking those bushes down so that we can see what's out there. That gives the predators an opportunity or a new blind to move in closer and closer and closer. Also, laziness is um, with your spouse or with your friends or anyone visiting or your children or your pets. Don't let your pets just go outside by themselves and run around, because you're going to find out your pet will come up missing one of these days. Also, with the children, if the children want to go outside and play, don't be lazy to where you like, I'll just look out the kitchen window and be out there with that child or that pet, because these predators are watching. And when they see a child out there playing by themselves or a pet out there by themselves, nobody's watching. That's an opportunity. And they'll think that this person's not loved or this person's not cared for because this person is not being watched. And if you watch animals, they're always together with their young ones. But if that young one does stray off, there's another predator waiting to take that pup or that um, young pig or something like that.
And spiritual predators too. And so many parents, the TV or the game boxes are their babysitters.
And then while they're letting the game box be their babysitter, while the mother wants to go or the father wants to go do something, and they're not paying attention, look at what's being fed to those children, especially those war games and things like that. They're taught to kill and maim and where to shoot people and things like that. Those games aren't just games. A lot of people think that it's no big deal, but um, if you watch those games or looked at them, I mean, I don't look at those games because I know what's in them. But
They're traps.
yeah, they're traps. They're traps for your children um, through sloth. And they know that a lot of people have that sloth. And then they're going to say, I'd rather the kid go play the game and give me 2, 3 hour, 4 hours of peace or
And then the
whatever.
kids become lazy too, not wanting to get out and get up and do things. They lose energy.
Um, I know that even when you call family members, call children or something like that, there's been times that we've heard, I'm playing this game, call me back, or I'm playing this game. Every time you call, I'm playing this game, I'm playing this game. I'm right in the middle of the game. And that sloth is not getting that connection between that parent, that child, or um, the grandparent and the child, or the
And,
friends with that child.
and who or what is stepping in to take the place, because the devil's a lot of things, but he's not lazy.
He's not,
The
he
the,
doesn't
the
take a day
enemy is
off.
not lazy, and none of those acting as the enemy are lazy.
Yeah. They're all designed for traps, designed to capture the children where you're not looking, capture yourself, or capture your friends, your spouses, your pets,
Your
um,
job.
your job. Everything is a, if you think that everything's a trap and that Satan has got a hold on a lot of people and will use those people, will use every technique that they possibly or it can possibly use, you'll see that there's traps everywhere. And we just all have to have our self control and know what's going on.
Think like a tracker
Think like a
with
tracker, yeah.
tracker eyes. Um, Laziness can also lead to stealing. People will steal or embezzle because of that sin, also because they don't want to work for whatever it is. They want to go take someone else's.
Hmm.
Some Bible verses about sloth. Proverbs 10:4, a slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. Proverbs 6 tells us, go to the ant, you sluggard, consider its ways and be wise. Proverbs 13, the soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing proper. Proverbs 18, laziness and pride are two things that bring about one's destruction. Um, Thessalonians, just look it up. Go look up Bible verses about sloth, and you'll find so many examples of it. And you'll think of your own too. And the virtue that is the opposite, that is the counteraction to that, that helps you to avoid that, is diligence. Working hard and steady, being steady at it.
And it's regardless of who's watching. Um, Especially at a job or something, don't be lazy at your work. Do your work. Do what's needed around the house. Um, but when we understand that God's always watching, and that God gave us this time, gave us this body, gave us this surroundings, that God doesn't want us to just lay down all of our life.
Mm.
They want us to just lay there and eat as much as we can, and gave us this body, this time, right now. This is a great time to be here. So much going on right now, and we're in this time, and we still have to keep moving. We still have to keep doing what we're doing. Um, even like our tracker courses and the trackers who are already out there, they're constantly doing things. Um, every week there's something that they're doing, and every week we get together. Every week we're sharing information. I know they're not lazy, but and we're just talking about the demon named Sloth who's going to get in there with certain people. But if you, there's always something to do. Um,
Got time to lean, got time to clean.
I used to hate that. Military, I always say that. I used to always hate that. But I always got my work done, and I remember when the commander's coming in one time, and he asked who was in charge today, and they said Williams, and he looked around. And he goes, "Okay." He goes, "Well, every time I come in here, and if I hear that name and he's in charge, then I'm not even going to do an inspection because I made sure that we had everything done exactly the right way. Everything's clean and polished. Even everybody's boots. I would make sure that if it's my turn, I wanted to make sure everyone had everything done the way it was supposed to be done. And but I mean that was a good report of the commander saying that at that time that he's not even going to give us an inspection if I was the one in charge at that time. But there's always something to do, and that was that saying. Got time to lean, you got time to clean.
I heard it at Sonic. I started working when I was 14, and it was they would tell all the employees that. And I always liked staying busier because the day went faster.
Yeah, that too.
And we also want to challenge our minds, not be mentally lazy. That's one thing my late Aunt Sharon, I respected about her so much. That mind never quit turning. She would do right up into her 80s. She would do crossword puzzles that came in the newspaper and things like that, just to keep her mind sharp so that her brain didn't get lazy. She was one of the most intelligent people I've ever known. And but now if it's not in a 15-second TikTok video, we can't concentrate enough. That's a discipline to learn to concentrate more. We've had people that say, "Well, yeah, I'd read your book, but just I'll wait till it comes out on audio." But how old are you? You can't read. You want the information, but you want it spoon-fed to you. Life-saving information, but too lazy to focus on one chapter a day, or come on now.
And we've had people sit down and read that entire book in one setting.
Yeah.
And other people are like, "Well, you read it to me all." But also, like with the trackers and warriors, there's no laziness in being a tracker or being a warrior because we know that we have to be on call 24/7. if someone needs us, like we got one call in the middle of the night, snowstorm was going on, and that's into the opening that we have, the intro. The only thing we could think of is, do we got enough gas to get there and get back? Because we was low on funds. And we said, yeah, we got enough gas to get there and enough to get back. We said, okay, let's load up. We grabbed our gear and we took off in a snowstorm. But we have to be ready. So we know that our trackers are not lazy. We know that they don't have sloth, and we're proud of that. Because they do everything every day now. I mean, we're getting reports of what they're doing. We talk to pretty much every tracker almost a daily basis, and we're proud of that. But not proud as pride, but proud that they're doing what they can for other people out in their communities and around their homes and things like that. It's something to see that.
And there's always somebody that you can be helping, not helping to the point of crippling them, because we want to encourage people to do for themselves too. But when your work is done, there's always something that you can do to help someone too. Just use your sense about it. I lost that thought.
So no overeating, no oversleeping, no overindulging or indulging. All things in moderation. It will help you, and your body will. Once you do that with your body, even when you go to a restaurant, don't get the especially if you got to go back to work. Don't get the dinner. Get the lunch size.
Save you money and keep you from falling asleep at work.
And you won't overindulge, and your body will use that. It'll keep going, and won't kind of slow down or clog up.
What I was thinking of a second ago was lazy people take advantage of other people because things have to get done, and if you're always relying on the other person, pick up your own socks, pick up your own dirty underwear. Don't leave that for somebody else to do. Teach your children when they're little how to take care of their own things and not to be lazy. That doesn't mean you use them for your slaves, but teach them by example of, okay, now let's pick this up. Now we're going to pick this up and train them like that, because that way you don't end up being just a terrible spouse that relies on the other person to do everything for you. That's not good either.
Yeah. And watch the volunteering. People can do their own thing, especially the physical stuff. If somebody says, do you have any coffee? You say, yeah, it's in the kitchen. If there's cups in the cupboard.
So that you're not manipulated. That's also kind of a little trap.
Yeah, because then next thing you know, you're in there making their coffee and bringing it to them, and they're just sitting there saying, oh, thank you. Do you have any pie? Do you have any pie? Do you have any cake? So they're taking advantage, and that's a form of sloth, taking advantage of another one to get what they need done, but they're not willing to do it themselves. So we got to be careful with volunteering.
And let's see, envy. Did we talk about envy yet?
Not yet.
Envy is another sin, and it crosses some of these lines also, because in a way it's laziness, because you want what somebody else has, but you're mad at them because they have it, but you're not going to put in the effort that they likely put in to get whatever it is. And the counterpart to that, the opposite, the resolution, is kindness. Be happy for your friends or your loved ones when they work hard and they do something. Don't be jealous. Don't be envious of that. Be proud for them. Be excited for them. Envy can cause breakups in relationships. It can cause you to want to break up someone's relationship. People that get envious of someone else's spouse or something, they might try to do things to get them into a trap, to cause them to stray or to sin, so that now your envy or someone else's envy has broken up a relationship or put a kink in it. Envy can cause people to, an example other channels.
Mm.
Trolls going over trying to cause trouble in channels or trying to ruin other people's reputations through envy because they want what the other person has. Just do your own thing. Don't don't envy what other people are doing. Be the best that you can be, your best version of yourself or your channel. Or we can learn from those we envy. So let's say you feel envy, dig into that and figure out what's your problem. Why? What are you envious of? Why do they? Or is it because they're good at this or they're good at that? Well, learn how to do that on your own and then put your own spin on it. But don't try to take what someone else has, and because that's when it becomes a sin. It should be inspiration when you see something that somebody else has that you want, but make sure that it's something that's even worth having. Envy also leads to people stealing or theft. Um, Envious people try to ruin other people's reputations and just to try to cause trouble for other people. Maybe they're envious of a job promotion. And even let's say the person that got the job promotion didn't even deserve it, like legitimately didn't deserve it, but you're envious of them for it. Where's that going to get you? Just work harder or go find a different job somewhere. But don't let that take seed in you and cause you to sin and be a bad person. Do we do pride?
Also, envy in the spiritual world or dream worlds, envy is a big way to trap a soul or a person's awareness whenever people dream. And we talk about this in our tracker course, but um, when you're in a dream, there could be a shiny pot of gold. There could be a brand new sports car or a big palace, or then you see yourself in great clothes and things like that. Um, that's a trap to pull you in to feed off of your energy. Um, I don't know if lust is on this, but those things are traps in the spiritual world. Objects are too. I think we're going to talk about that in a second. But
Envy and greed can run together.
yeah. So if you're you those are traps in dreams. Envy can be used to pull you into a certain dream to be fed upon. Even though a lot of people don't understand that dream worlds are real, but people can die in dreams. People can get exhausted in dreams. People come back um, hurt or with pains in dreams. Um, but it is to coax you into to a dream. It's like showing you something that you don't have. Something that you may want. Um, but we got to watch out for those dreams, and we teach not to dream because these worlds are real and they are used against us as traps to feed off of us or to try to get a connection with us.
Envy can cause you to even try to get plastic surgery because you want to look like what that person does instead of just being satisfied with the way that God made you or doing something. Um, and I can see in extreme examples, but most of it's just superficial, silly stuff that people are getting done and they end up regretting it later or having health problems later, financial problems later, relationship problems later because now this one um, starts getting overly prideful of it, and then the spouse is now insecure, or there's just a whole different dynamics that can come with that sort of thing too that we have to watch out for.
Mm-hmm.
Pride.
Mm-hmm. Pride's a big one.
Pride
Well,
is excessive self-esteem, arrogance, or conceit when it's taken to an extreme. You want to have dignity and self. You want to take care of yourself with dignity and with some pride, but you don't want to be an overly proud person. God says He hates a proud look, a haughty look. I'm better than you. I'm holier than thou. Um, there can be pride in the church. I'm the best singer. I'm the best speaker. I'm the preacher's favorite. I'm the prettiest girl there. Any of that kind of stuff. I wear the best clothes. I'm more godly than everyone else. That kind of pride is that's it becomes sinful. Self-respect and pride are not the same things. And then you can even take it to the extreme of the what the world has come to know as pride. That's a whole other spin on it. But pride taken to the extreme of vanity, the Bible tells us in Proverbs, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. The antidote or the virtue that is the opposite of pride is humility, and that doesn't mean to be humiliated. It just means to be humble and to realize that really, in the whole scheme of things, none of us is all that, other than that we were made in God's image and that God loves us. But individually, if he wanted to, and if we got too prideful, he could pinch us out like that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to get puffed up and think that
And
we're.
that's how Satan fell.
Yes, exactly. That would have been the original sin. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
pride. Um,
Even with some of these other channels, we've heard it many times, and I don't know if it's pride or ignorance by saying we have more viewers or more subscribers, so that makes us a better channel. Um,
Not necessarily.
yeah, it doesn't necessarily make you a better channel. It may make you a bigger channel. May make you with more subscribers, but I wouldn't say it'd be a better channel.
Somebody put a thumbs up.
Oh, we
Is that
might.
us?
I think you did when you
Me?
put your thumb hand up. It may have showed up. I don't know. Hey, but it happened at a good time. So when we hear some of these channels, and they used to come at us too and say things like that, but
That's not necessarily an indicator.
we just, didn't pay them any attention and just kept doing what we're doing. We're not in competition with anybody else. I don't even think there's another tracker channel. They're entertainment channels, so we're not even in the same category. So we're not even in the. There's no way that we're competing because we're not even in the same category. We're a tracker channel. We teach here. They're an entertainment channel. They're there for um, uh, the more entertainment they have, even if it's instigating things like that. Um, that it's a whole different. It's two different kind of channels. Um, but we have heard that many times, especially in the beginning when we really didn't have that many subscribers. Um, but we've gotten more subscribers. I mean, we're still not a big channel, but we have more quality.
We'd rather have slowly growing, solid
Yeah.
individuals here that are really taking this knowledge to heart than people that come and go and they're smack talking in the chats or things like that. We don't want that.
Yeah, we don't even want the bad language or things like that. And our monitors, they know what to watch for, and monitors have kicked out more people than we probably have, but um, they understand too that they don't want this channel to be turned that way. So of course we're not going to have just anybody here with us, um, and it's okay if they come in and listen as long as they don't start anything or and even some of if we know their names, if we know their problems in other channels, um, we don't even want the name in the room.
Yeah, we just block them.
We'll
As soon as
block
we
them.
hear somebody's a problem on other channels, we just go ahead and block them. We don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
Pride can cause people to get into fights
Yeah.
unnecessarily, cause them to get into debt. It can hurt relationships. People won't apologize, um, or they won't sincerely apologize. It can cause us not to ask for help if we need it,
Well, that's a big one too.
and or from our fellow man or from God Himself. That's one reason God doesn't like pride, also because we need God, and we don't want to be so proud and so full of ourselves that we don't that we think we can do anything without him, because simply not the case. Pride can cause us to just be braggarts and use that as a means to poke at other people or try to get a rise out of other people. Those are all traps that we're either causing in ourselves, or we're trying to use that to trap other people into bad behavior. Um, Pride can put us into debt, which is a trap.
Mm-hmm.
And now people are even proud of how many issues or dysfunctions they have. That's what the society has gotten to. My childhood was more traumatic than yours. I had worse abuse than you did. Or there's even a weird pride in that now, that people don't even want to get healed because they're too busy being proud of being the biggest victim in the room. Um, Pride causes us just to want too much, so it runs with some of these other things like greed, with some of these other agents
Demons
of
run
darkness
together.
and demons. They really
So
do.
you're gonna see all these running together.
And pride causes you not to learn and to be unteachable. You already know it all. You've done it all. You know it all. You've seen it all. You have it all. And so the antidote to that is humility, as we said earlier.
And that's something we also talk about in the new book, is that there's no way that we can experience and see everything that God has put in this world for us. And, for us to get to a point of where we've seen it all, done it all, we'll never get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also, I like that, because God has designed it that way. Man can never be bored. Um, there's always something new to experience. Even a new friend, daily there's something new. Even though, as God says, to God there's nothing new under the sun, because God knows everything. But for man, we experience new things every day. Um, uh, Even if it's getting a new door, something. It's that's a brand new door. It's built a little different. It's shaped different. Um, Even if it doesn't fit with the house, you would repaint it. So it's always something new. And that's just a small thing, but there's new things that happen to us every day. There's new viewers that come in every day. Those are new people. That's a new character, or a new voice, a new mind. That if and so many people have said this, that they've learned so much from our channel in just one viewing. Um, but they're getting to learn more, and that's a new thing too. Every day is something new, and it's such a wonderful thing to experience new things every day. I mean, every day we're like, okay, we got to get this done, we got to get this done, but then there's something new that we got to get done too. There's something new that we need to work on. It's just, we could never be bored, never be
Yeah,
bored.
I never understood that. How people can say they get bored is beyond me. I don't get that ever. There's never
I
enough
know my
hours in the
mom.
day.
I know parents, especially my mom. You bored? You want something to do?
I got something for you
I
to
got
do.
something to do. I got dishes. I got.
um, and then the last one we'll talk about is lust. In both dream world with the succubus and the incubus,
Mm,
those are traps.
yeah.
Lust in our dreams, that's not a natural thing. We did a
Dream worlds are real.
we did a live stream on the incubus. That's on the Lead Tracker E channel, and that's Joyce's testimony. And be sure you check that out. Not right now, but later. And that's a trap in dream world. Those are not normal things. God is not having you have nocturnal emissions or wet dreams. Those are traps from the incubus and the succubus, and those can actually be used to impregnate in the spirit world. And whether you believe that or not is inconsequential. It's still
It happens, and it
It's a
has
thing.
happened.
And let's see, traps. Lust can be used as traps, even our phones. Some of these phones have enough technology that they can recognize when your eyes dilate when you see something that is appealing to you or catches your interest. Some of these phones actually register that, and that's how some are getting ads. Others are, they linger just a little bit too long, or they go up and they go, ooh, they roll back down. And the internet is one of the biggest eye gates that we have. And they will put, well, what do you like, redheads? You like blondes? You like big booties? You like big breasts? You like, what's your pleasure? You know what I mean? It's like a marketplace on there, and you'll notice that it literally is a marketplace on there, but it's targeted uh, towards each person. It's a trap developed towards each person. They see what you're interested in, both the enemy that's watching you at all times and meta and algorithms, but also the demons. They're watching. What are you looking at? What are you looking at when nobody's looking? What are you deleting because you don't want somebody else to see? Those are all traps. It's all data gathered to set a trap for you. Um,
Also, um, that is used with vampires.
mhm.
Vampires will be in the clubs, they'll be in the bars, they'll be at sports games, festivals, night light shows.
Predators.
They'll have drugs, they'll have drinking or drinks for you. And vampires will try to tempt you or to coax you out of the safety area. Uh, Go back to the room, go back to the car, go into the woods, so that they can get you alone, so that they can uh, feast upon you. They are real, they're all out there. Also, in those dreams, they're going to use family, they're going to use friends, a familiar spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're going to use what they can to draw you, to get you to open that threshold.
And a familiar spirit is not your loved one. A familiar
Mm.
spirit is a spirit that looks familiar. It's a demon that looks like someone you're familiar with. Can sound like them, smell like them, talk like them, act like them, have information that you think only that loved one had. But those demons have been around watching that, and they can use that as a trap against you.
In those dreams, they'll use a naked body, a naked person, to draw you into that dream. Uh, and when you go into dreams, you're volunteering.
Those are other worlds.
Yeah, you're volunteering to go into that world, into that trap. And that's why we also teach that once you feel like you're going into a dream or something, pull yourself back. Get out of that, because that's a trap.
Say the name of Jesus or
Yep.
Yeshua,
Yep.
Yahushua. Um, Everybody by now is familiar with the whole P. Diddy thing going on. Those are traps. That's how they trap politicians and
They use that greed,
CEOs and
lust, envy, pride.
uh-huh,
They use
and
everything.
yeah, the celebrities, people who run things get trapped because they're using things like that, and now they've got the evidence on them. They may even drug them at first, but now they've got pride because they've gotten caught in some kind of compromising circumstance that now they're ashamed, and so now they've been trapped, and so now they can be controlled. You'll have situations presented, uh, an old flame or somebody from school, if you know, if this is one of your weaknesses, or if you're too proud, like I'll never fall for that, I'm strong in that area, which is pride. It can also become a weakness because you don't keep your guard up against it because you think I got this, and that's when the enemy will make sure that someone online or in person is presented to you that will try to lure you off course and be everything that you think that you want. and then start making you look at your partner as less because you're thinking about this one over there. May even start as can't tell you how many hookers say that the people just want to talk to them at first, and they're not kidding. But that's what leads it in there, so it might start with a sympathetic conversation, because this person doesn't know about your bills or your problems or things like that. So they'll sit there, they'll say anything you want them to say to be able to trap you further. Um, Situations will be presented. One of the things people got to stop doing is talking about my work husband and my work wife, and that's so disrespectful to your own husband or wife. That's just one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard, but it's a thing, and it has been for a few years now. Um, the whole women's right to life and the abortion thing, that's just another form of lust. The truth is, very few abortions happen because of rape or incest, but they'll play out like that's a gigantic factor in it. But the truth is, it's having sexual relations outside of marriage, and then becoming pregnant and using abortion as a means of birth control.
Mm.
And but that would fall under lust, unwanted pregnancies. Um,
And all this is a lack of self-control.
yeah,
Like in the dreams, it's to draw people in, so that they open their threshold, so that that demon can't get in.
traps.
Traps for people, to capture the body, to capture the energy, and the ultimate goal is to capture the soul or to attain the soul. And so, patience and self-control, um, man's law. We have to control ourselves, control our minds, control our thinking. Um, we know what's right, what's wrong, and it's not hard to turn away from that. Mm.
Loneliness, grief, those are both openings where lust will come in also. Um,
Mm.
Insecurity, any of your weaknesses, we need to identify the weaknesses in ourselves so that we can guard against the way that can be used as a trap. If you were wicked and you were looking at you like the enemy, what are your weaknesses? And how can you shore those up? How can you strengthen those? And anything that you're turning to other than God, um, as the primary comfort and source of strength, is a potential trap.
Mhm.
I think that's it for them.
The ultimate goal is your soul.
And chastity is the virtue that's the antidote that will help you avoid lust.
Just a few more traps, especially with the approach of Bigfoots, but also humans. Humans will use our habits, our routines, and schedules, to trap, to capture people, capture children. Someone will even take pets and ransom them back. Predator Bigfoots will use toys, and they'll put like the ball by the tree line, or put the bicycle. And we've seen this before many times. Bicycles right next to a blind or an ambush area. Fairies, they'll use fairies to make a light, or have them all flash together at the same time to make it look like there's a light outside. And this is to draw people outside. Knocks on the doors, slaps on the houses, voices, or even acting shy. These predators will use that. Even the humans will use that. They'll act shy around kids just to coax them out, or even act shy around
Demons
a
also.
female or even a male, um, to coax them into a unsafe environment. We got to also be wary of what people would call, um, not teachers, but people who teach how to astral project. Um, tarot card readers, they'll tell you to go to a tarot card reader or to talk with this person who can speak with the dead. These are
Trap.
people, yeah, these are people who have demons, and that demon appetite is to attain more and more. So they're going to be inviting, like if you've read the Predator, read the Bigfoot Gifters book, we talk about how they invite more, invite more, invite more. And they're saying it's okay to talk to this demon. It's okay to gift them. It's okay to do this.
Those people do not have a close relationship with God,
Yeah.
or they wouldn't have to reach outside to try to get all that knowledge that they should be going to God for. It's already written in the Word, or that they can find through prayer, or that they can just have enough faith to know God's got me. I don't have to know what my future husband's going to look like. I don't have to know how many children I'm going to have. I can trust the Lord to give me what I need and who I need.
And those people who are teaching to astral project or gift predators, again, like the Predator
Remote viewing.
uh, Bigfoot Gifters book, that, yeah, remote viewing, that they have demons. And it's a multitude. It's never just one demon, just like it's never one predator. It's a multitude of them that's in one person and they're all hungry. They're all wanting more energy, more bodies. So it's not just one saying, I want more, I want more. It's like all these other ones are saying, bring us more. I want one, I want one, I want one.
And those are traps. Your body's not protected when you're out wandering around in your spirit.
Yeah.
And things can crawl back in with you when you come back.
And it's called piggybacking, where a demon will come back from a dream attached to that person and come back with them. Or even like a coma patient or a near death experience. If that person leaves, that there's demons that will go into that body, which those are called walk-ins. Now this person looks the same, acts the same, but you know there's something different. And those people who have walk-in spirits inside them after an accident or something, they cannot um, do something new. You know, they're not going to change their job like a normal person. You know, if they get fired from a job, now they want to be a mechanic. Now they want to be a plumber. But a walk-in won't do that. They'll only perfect or get better at the job that they know how this body,
Memory.
the memory of this body, what it does, they will only get better at that because not unless they have a teacher that's going to teach them how to, like an apprentice. So the demons will use the body of that person, but also the people who teach to astral project, who have these demons, who talk to the dead, who have these demons. Those demons are using that person to attract more people, to get more souls. So we got to be very careful of those traps.
And they're using the pride in that person. I know information that other people don't know. I've got secret knowledge. I've got hidden knowledge. I was the original trap, wasn't it? From the beginning.
And these people,
we want this secret knowledge.
Yeah,
it's what every secret society is based on, hidden knowledge.
And we talk about that in the new book, Bigfoot Gifters, also that exchange.
And if you're someone who's trying to astral project and remote view, and honestly, you have no business doing that. That's an invasion of privacy. How dare you? How dare you try to go into other people's homes and look at them or spy on them? That's disgusting. Don't justify that in your mind. That's demons working with you and allowing you to do that. That's allowing you to see through demons' eyes and to be used as a conduit, and you're trapping other people into this with you. There's no excuse for that.
And while that person is remote viewing, more demons are coming into that body because that person's somewhere else, not guarding their body. So it's a wide open vessel, and demons are just
people that do that. They're not at peace. They have no peace. No, they wouldn't be trying to do that.
They wouldn't be trying to capture more people. Let me talk to you about it. Let me astral project with you. Let me remote view for you. But that's also trying to pull more in and to capture more people.
Doesn't matter how cute they are, how much they smile, how sweet their little voice is, they're traps. Stay away from those people and don't be those people.
All these things are traps, and we have to realize spiritual warfare is ongoing. We only got one enemy, and that enemy is using every tactic, every person, anything and everything against us, trying to get us to be corrupt.
And if they can get us to destroy ourselves, that makes their job so much easier, and it's more enjoyable for them.
And if everyone's corrupt, everyone's like Satan, there's no judgment, because Satan will say, "Hey, everybody's like me. Nobody's like God. Nobody's good." There's been cities destroyed because they couldn't find one person. But now that we know the spiritual war, now that we know who is in charge, not just that there's demons, but there's only one in charge, and that's Satan. The rest of them are little ones, little demons who are going around.
And yes, it's a title, and yes, it's called Shaitan, but we all know it to be Satan, and that one enemy has a lot of heads.
Yeah. And it's just like sending out a whole different trained bunch of troops.
A hive mind.
The goal is to capture every soul possible, especially before the judgment. It's been doing a powerful job out there on a lot of people, but luckily we have a lot of people who are not that way. A lot of people on this channel are not that way, and we appreciate the people who are here with us. For the most fact that we know that Satan, there's no way that Satan can win, because we have a lot of good people.
And God is with us.
And God is with us.
He's given us the playbook.
Yeah. But let's take a few comments and catch up, and then we'll see where we're at. Oh, there's a couple of comments. Okay. Let me start with Jamie. It says, "I'm not ready now. I'm still learning, even to take the course. I'm not ready, Jerry." It's better that you don't know anything. Like whenever I teach stickball, I would rather that person not know anything.
Retrain, huh?
Yeah. It's harder to untrain you than to train you. So actually, that would be a perfect candidate for someone who doesn't know. Because even like I'm saying, when we teach stickball, the people that we teach, I'm showing them things that they're not supposed to be able to do then. So, it is something to see that they're coming out, and then the first time they go play with somebody, they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing, with that training. It's because they weren't untrained. They weren't taught that they couldn't do this yet, that it's going to take time to do this. It's going to take practice, which the more practice you do, the better you're going to get. But I teach them how to do everything that is advanced beforehand, so that's all they know. And so when they go against someone else, they're advanced players. So it's better that people don't know, so we don't have to untrain. And like JR was saying, he's just gonna, and JR is a very intelligent person, but he said, "I'm just gonna put everything to the side and listen to y'all and take it from there, and what sticks sticks." And I'll decide afterwards, but I'm going to have an open mind about the information, the knowledge that you're sharing, and he'll make that decision afterwards. And that's the way we want. Just let us share the information with you and give you that knowledge, and then you can go look up anything and
pray about everything.
And
we encourage that.
And try to find that we're not giving you the right information. And because that's what we want to do, is give you the right information, or give you information you've never heard of before. So it's always better to have someone to train than to untrain. But if you are already trained in certain things, just let the information, give the information a chance. You'll be taking notes. We'll be doing videos. We'll have photos and things like that.
We don't move ahead unless everyone is in the same spot.
But it's always better to train somebody than to untrain them. Even like in basic training, there's a lot of things in basic training that high school students have never been through before. Like somebody talked about the pugil stick training, and that's where you have the soft pads on both sides of the stick, and you fight a certain way with that. Um, but those are things we didn't have in high school, so it's better that we learned. And when we're learning from the instructors, like I learned from the drill sergeants that this is how you do this. This is the easiest way to do this. This is how you can get this done the quickest, the most efficient way. And I picked that up. I said, I only want to learn the exact way to do this. And I became very good at that.
One of the first things you'll learn is what is the warrior's biggest mistake. Jerry?
That's thinking we have time. So don't, and that's a big mistake. That's thinking that we have time. So Jamie, I would jump right into it if I was you. And don't count yourself out. You know, I guarantee if you was to talk to any of the trackers of what they learned in the course, they would tell you that they didn't think that this was going to be taught in the course, because it's not like a regular tracking course. We need you intelligent. We need you to not be fooled by anything out there, and we're showing you and teaching you things that is not taught anywhere else in the world.
We'll start with Deborah Mueller, Righteous Anger.
Okay, Righteous Anger.
I think Elastic Machinery, Cube was responding to Elastic Machinery saying, we have to share you. I think he was being funny.
Oh.
And Cube was like, yes, share.
Yes,
on my
share.
Facebook page and in my groups.
Deborah says sharing.
Righteous Anger. Elastic Machinery says inner strength.
Yeah.
Jamie says, oh yeah, I've lost my self-control. I feel bad. Everyone has at one time or another.
But we learn from it.
Yeah.
And I remember there was that monkey in that movie Lion King where he hit the lion the first time. He said, we can either learn from it or not. And he swung again and the lion ducked. He said, okay, we're learning.
Cube says to be in Christ means we don't give in to animalistic rage and act in a way degrading to us and destructive to other people. God expects us to behave in godly ways. Yes.
And God also tells us and lets us know this is the enemy. This is what we have to take care of. But in the other times, we take care of, the basics.
Elastic Machinery says, Cube, no, I mean we have to share them with other people as city council. I share in PRT's main page. I'm super proud of you, Jerry, and of course the support of Ella. It all has to work. Thank you.
It's not in the city council. It's in the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. We have, I believe, 12 districts and 12 council members and a person over that.
Jamie says, I never bully no one. There's lots of spider people out there. That's right.
There sure is.
Joyce says, yes, Cube. Cube says, oh, okay, Elastic, I misunderstood, my bad. Joyce says, some people want you to enter their chaos and at the same time steal your peace. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Cube says, yes, exactly, Joyce. I look for those types of people and avoid them. Shade is here, says salute. Hey, Shade.
There's Shade. There's that moderator. Everybody's saying hello to Shade.
Shade says, I love this show. Thank you. We love it when you drop by.
Yeah.
And spend time with us. Elastic Machinery says, really great points. Hey, Shade. Did I miss one?
Yeah.
That is not on mine.
This one by Jamie. It says, I can ignore strangers looking for drama. And road rage, my cousin pulled over a rage. Out comes a gun. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And those people don't have any self control, so be careful. Not that 100%.
Shade says, I love this show. What's it, 100%? What?
Elastic Machiner says 100%, Jamie. It can be deadly.
I don't
All
know
this
that
has
one.
recently happened in this channel. I had to step way back from. I think to myself, will I be mad in Apple years? No. Then why be upset at all?
Yeah.
And really great point, Shay.
Elastic says, I think to myself, will I be mad in a couple years? No, then why be upset? Had to step way back from a channel recently losing their temper, falling into an obvious trap. Great points, J&E.
Yeah.
Cube says, yes, Ella, me too. Triggered by a false information put out by a YouTuber and immediately regretted responding to them. They were trying to get a reaction from me, and they did.
They will try as much as they can
Uh-huh.
to get you to lose self control and for that to be shown.
Uh-huh. Shade says, yes, faith seems to be a second way of life, always maintaining the armor and discipline. It has to become a constant right. Mm-hmm.
And Jamie says, my cousin walks up to the guy and gets out with a gun. He says, you want to die?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, watch all that stuff. Self
And
control.
so he could, if that guy turned in that could have gone all kinds of bad ways, and
Yeah.
we don't know, maybe it did. But just for him doing that, he could have ended up in jail.
Yeah, got both of them.
Shade says the force is strong here.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we're saying, that we're on the same comment. But yeah, the force is strong here.
Joyce
Jedi
says,
Knights.
when it's too good to be true, beware. That is the truth.
And Cubaner says, so much shade. The force is strong. And Joyce says, when it's too good to be true, beware. Those is weird.
JR says, manifest God's qualities, not things. Yes.
Yeah.
Well put.
Yeah.
Jody says, contentment is wealth. That's truth.
It sure is. It sure is.
And there's so few people that are content. Like, everyone complains. Or not everyone, but it seems though when you go down the Facebook feed, or most people are complaining about something, and I have to say, no wrath, Lord. Wake up, you're walking, aren't you? They're complaining, and yet they have clearly electricity and
food,
internet, and come on. And also, that's how you set your own traps, by what you complain about on the internet. Relationship problems, these little digs at other people, or digs at your spouse on there, or you're given the traps for yourself. There's people taking notes, of how they can get a wedge in there. JR says charity is love in action. That's right.
All right, Jared. Jared's very intelligent.
Cube says, manifest the kingdom of God within you. That's the real treasure.
Yeah, there you go.
JR says, 1 Corinthians 13, KJV, the love chapter. Charity is agape. Agape love, yeah. Elastic says, pray as in, pray in an undertone day and night. Also, we need to practice equilibrium in all things. Yes. Cube says, all the precepts you're talking on is applied Christianity. It's what God expects of us, and it's how we become an asset in our household and the wider community.
Sure is.
And one thing I forgot earlier when we were talking about sloth and work is just that sense of accomplishment. You feel so much better when you do something. You're like, I did that. All right. Yay.
Yeah.
And we want to teach it to our children. Joyce says, for a great lesson on all these sins, read the books of the 12 patriarchs. Jody says, thank you, Joyce. I will definitely read. Yeah.
Truth Walker. All right.
Tracker Lorna's welcoming people into the room.
She's saying hello to everybody.
Let's
Truth
see.
Walker saying hello back.
Go down to JR, says many state a malady as theirs, i.e. my arthritis. Oh yeah, good point. My arthritis, my diabetes, etc. How can one expect healing while claiming the malady as theirs? Watch what cometh out of thy mouth. That's
Ooh.
absolutely true.
Good one,
Great
JR.
point.
Good one. And Joyce is agreeing.
Deborah says work spouse is so dishonoring. It is.
It is. It is.
Cube says remote viewing is a trap of added awareness of the outside world, but coupled with an added confusion of not being able to interpret that outside view. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Cube says demons of confusion are the remote viewers' tour guides. Yep.
Hold on, where am I?
Jody says, Cube, you have a great way with words.
Hold on, I think I'm
Did I
missing something.
miss something? I don't know how to make on my phone. It doesn't allow me to check all messages.
I don't know if you
and
wrote
it's just
it
stuck on top
twice
messages.
or if it comes out twice.
Well, I only see it once on mine, so let's read the other one.
Okay.
As a trap, remote viewing works in two ways: a greater awareness of the outside, but could with a greater confusion and inability to interpret the expansive knowledge given by remote views. Julie, go to Julie.
And Cube says demons of confusion are the remote viewers tour guides.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure is. And
there's
okay.
And there's Julie. How you doing,
Hey, Julie, how you doing?
She says, I've been listening, just can't chat while I'm driving. Thank you for letting us know, though, and for keeping your hands on the wheel.
Yeah.
And your eyes on the road. Cube says, thank you, Jody. Bitter experience of a fallen past life. And he means this life, not ancient life.
Yeah.
And
Everybody
then
saying
Cube
hello
says,
to
yeah,
Julie.
I retracted one passage, Jerry, spelling mistake, my bad.
Oh, okay.
So we're all caught up on and now let me hit the like button.
All right.
So that wraps this up. We just want to, we can see more and more people falling into traps and falling into traps made by themselves. Let's don't make it easy on the enemy.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Especially if it's on the internet. There's nobody in front of you, and those are words.
Don't let your body get all that.
And I don't understand. It's your channel. You have the ability to block those people. You have the ability to remove that comment.
Don't entertain it.
So you're enticing and you're interacting and you're responding. Yeah. You're giving them exactly what they want. But that's the part that we don't understand. Why not just block them?
Have 42 moderators like we do.
Yeah, like us. Our moderators will block them without us even knowing. But you don't have to entertain a demon.
No.
You don't have to accept that negative energy.
That's right.
It's easy.
Oh, that makes them even crazier anyway.
It is to accept
they don't know what to do with it if you don't accept it.
Demons will implode if you do not accept their negative energy. It's going to just implode on them because there's no one who's going to accept it and take it from them. They're trying to give it to someone else. They don't want it.
Definitely don't let them bring out the worst in you or change who you are.
They have that internal anger, the internal hate. That's what it is. They have internal hate. And so they're trying to give it to you so you hate back. So now they're giving that energy.
Now they got a partner in crime.
Now they're getting relieved because they're giving it away.
Now they're the victim.
Yeah, and they can play victim too because now you're coming back at them with that same hate.
Yeah.
So that hate that they're using or giving to you, you're giving it back to them, and now they
You
can play
rubbed it all
victim.
over yourself and
Yeah, and now they can play
ate
victim.
it.
He's so rude to me, so mean to me, so.
And
But
you gave it to them.
you're the one accepted it. You don't have to accept it. Let them implode on their own. Let that demon implode on its own.
They die from lack of oxygen.
And I can guarantee you, if you don't accept that negative energy, they're going to go try to find someone else.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to go give it to someone else. They'll leave you alone. But if you entertain them and accept it, they're going to be with you and they're going to stay with you. And they're going to just keep giving you that hate and negative energy.
And even if it increases your views or your attention, that's a false increase. That's it's not a productive increase. It's going to be people that just love the drama. You don't want that.
No.
So, all right, we're going to go ahead and pray. And thank you, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Father, thank you for the lessons that you give us. We just love you. Keep your hands over everyone. Help us all to avoid the pitfalls and the traps and the snares that are laid out for us. Really, if we just turn to your word, it's all in there. It's just all in there. And if we pay attention to it and take it to heart, and most importantly, apply it, we can avoid all these traps that people talk about. There's no guidebook to life, and I say, yeah, there is. There it is. So thank you, Lord, for it. We love you. We love these people that you bring to our channel. Thank you for our friends and our loved ones and the friends that have become family. Thank you for our families. Thank you for our channel. Thank you for all the ways you provide for us and protect us. And we ask that you do the same for all those that we love, and most importantly, for all those that love you. In Jesus' name, in the name of Yeshua, amen.
Amen. Let's see. Shadow Trackers, your first meeting is tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time Zone. Warriors, you're still on the same schedule, but we're going to end that meeting at 8:20 p.m. so we can get with the Shadow Trackers on tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Central Time Zone. On Thursday is the first day of the Thunder Trackers candidate course, or the Warrior Tracker Training Candidate course. That's at 7 p.m. on Thursday, and we will send the links out on the 22nd, which is watching Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So 2 days from now. So we sent you the healing booklets out. Check your emails, and if you didn't receive it, let us know, and we will send it out to you again because we will be going over that. So everyone.
Elastic, a couple more.
Oh. Let's see.
Cube says 42 moderators, LOL. It works well. Bye, trolls, LOL.
Oh, yeah.
Elastic Machinery says 100%, Jerry. Haha, absolutely. I like the phrase starve your ghouls.
There you go.
And giving attention to horrible people and demons.
Yep.
Yeah. Avoid giving attention.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to see the Warriors tomorrow and the Shadow Trackers. We're going to have our first meeting Thursday again. We're going to be starting the new Tracker Training Candidate course for the Thunder Trackers. So check your emails.
Busy week.
Busy week.
We're clipping right along on the books.
Yeah, and watching Wednesday.
Did we mention not announcing things?
Yeah.
Announcing plans?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone have a great night, and thank you everyone who was able to give some support tonight. We do appreciate it.
Good night,
We will see all of y'all very soon. Good night, Warriors. Are we moving?
So beautiful.
Are we moving?
So weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone who's lost in the woods. You gotta say a prayer.